Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, this is the point in the training where normally you would type in your name and tell me where you're from, but you might notice that the chat box is turned off. And there's actually a reason why. If you know me already, you might know why that might be. If you're just now meeting me for the first time, I just want you to know there is a reason, and I'm going to explain that to you in just a few minutes. But for now, what I want to do is I really want to encourage you to go ahead and submit any questions that you might have, and I will do my absolute best to get back to each and every one of you in a timely fashion. So, first of all, I want you to know I am not selling anything today. Even if you want me to sell you something, I'm not selling you anything. So that means that you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the training. Okay, so before we get started, I would just like to ask you to do a couple of things for me because I don't want you to have any buffering issues. And I really want you to have the best viewing experience possible. So please, if you can do me a quick favor and just turn off anything that you might have running on your computer, including Skype, Facebook, iTunes, or anything else that might be running on your computer, because it's just going to make for a much smoother experience. And also, you're going to want to really pay attention and take notes so that you can begin to apply this information and start increasing your confidence so that you can take your life and your career to the next level. Okay, so I just want to start out by asking you a quick question. Have you ever not done something that you really wanted to do because you just didn't feel like you had the confidence to do it? Say yes, because we've all done that, right? And would you like more self-confidence and a feeling of certainty so that you can take your life and your career to the next level? Hands up, say yes. Isn't that why you're here? Okay. So, in this training, I am going to teach you 7 proven tools and techniques that you can begin to apply to your life right now that will increase your self-confidence so that you can begin to live your life to the next level without second-guessing your decisions or worrying about what other people are thinking. Isn't that what we all want? Okay, so if you're able to stick around to the very end of this training today, I'm going to be offering you a very special gift. So I really hope that you can stick around till the end. But for now, let's get to the content. Okay, so I want to give you just a little bit about my background so that you know where I'm coming from. And I'll do it as quickly as possible because this training's not about me. So if you decide you'd like more information on me after this training, you can just go to lifecoach-newyorkcity.com and read my bio. So my name is Julie Holmes, and I'm a certified life coach, and I'm also certified and trained in learning how to remove mental and emotional blocks from the subconscious mind. And I've been featured as an expert in my field in AM New York, New York Daily News, Bustle, Refinery 29, Style Bistro, MyWellbeing.com, Modern A, Max Muscle Magazine, and the Ledger Observer, just to name a few. So you know you're in good hands. And in my years of experience, I have had the honor and the privilege of helping people just like you completely transform their lives from where they are to where they want to be. And one of the questions I get asked most frequently is, Julie, how did you get into life coaching? And I say, do you want the long version or the short version? So I'll try to sum this up for you. So here are some photos of me when I was younger, and I have to tell you, my life has not always been rainbows and ponies. When I was about 15, I was diagnosed with a rare eye condition that left me legally blind. And over the years, because of it, as you can imagine, I have had many, many, many obstacles and challenges, both mentally and emotionally. And, right when I was ready to get my driver's license, I was told that I would never be able to drive again. Well, not even again, because I'd never driven legally. So now you know why the chat box is turned off. It would be an absolute nightmare if I were to try to chat and do all of this at the same time, zooming in and all that stuff. So that's why I'm encouraging you, please send me your questions individually, and I'm more than happy to get back to you. So let me just talk you through these pictures quickly. First one, I was about 5. I had perfect vision as a child growing up. It all happened about junior high. And the second 2 photos around the same time, probably maybe around 13 years old, about 2 years before I was diagnosed. And then the family picture on the bottom left is my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. And that was a few years ago. And then the last photo was something I just posted recently on social media. So here's the thing. A lot of people don't even realize that I have issues with my vision, and I've just gotten really, really good at hiding it. So many times in my life, I had to hide it because, I just felt like I had to in order to keep a job, or just for the simple fact that I just didn't want to feel like a freak. And we all have that one thing that we're really insecure about. We all have it. And just because you have something that you're insecure about doesn't mean that you have to feel that way, right? Because you get to choose how you feel. You get to choose how you feel no matter what your circumstances may be. And if I'm being really honest, looking back, I'm actually extremely grateful for my challenges. I mean, even though they were super hard, because it led me to my obsession for self-development. I would spend hours and hours on a daily basis listening to self-help audiobooks, learning everything that I possibly could on how to better myself. Not totally understanding how I was going to apply it all to my life, but it was my addiction, and it served me really, really well to learn and to grow. And it led me to my life's purpose. And somehow, deep down, I knew that if I could help other people with their struggles and their obstacles in life, that I would be helping myself as well. So through the tools and techniques that I've learned from my own research, as well as what I've learned from my education, I've been able to completely transform my own perception of life and my patterns of thought and behavior from a feeling of hopelessness to a feeling of inspiration and excited about life. And once I was able to make the small shift, my entire life changed. Looking back, if I had not gone through all of my struggles and obstacles, I wouldn't have become the person that I am today. And as you listen to my story, you might begin to realize how all of your struggles and obstacles have served you because they have made you stronger. And you wouldn't be the person that you are today, and even better, the person that you're about to become, if you hadn't been challenged in some way in life. So I really believe that everyone deserves to be happy. Isn't that what everyone wants? Don't you just want to be happy? Say yes. You deserve to live a life that you absolutely love. And that's what I want to share with you. Some of these techniques that you can begin to apply to your life right now that are really going to help you have the self-confidence and the sense of certainty to take your life to the next level. So, how do you know if you're in the right place? You are in the right place if fear holds you back from going after the things that you really, truly want and deserve in life. And you are in the right place if maybe you've had some success in your life, but you just feel stuck. And you know you're in the right place if you have a sense of general anxiety that keeps you from playing at your full potential. And you know that you're in the right place if you find yourself second guessing your decisions. So today I am going to teach you 7 proven techniques and strategies that you can begin to apply to your life right now that are going to help you increase your confidence and your sense of certainty so that you can take your life and your career to the next level. Does that sound good? Okay. So here's the thing. There are a ton of ways that I help my clients boost their self-confidence, get rid of negativity, old patterns of thought and behavior. And there is so much information on this topic. And if I really wanted to share it all with you, we'd be sitting here for weeks. But what I am going to do is I am going to give you as much as I can in the time that we have. And I will show you where to go if you want more. Would that be okay? Awesome. So many of the clients that I have worked with have had some success in their life and in their career, but they have a sort of max capacity for the success that they really can achieve. And there's a reason for it. And it's because they don't always feel like they're good enough. And maybe they feel like they don't deserve it. And sometimes people have some general anxiety that keeps them from taking action. It keeps them from moving forward and moving to the next level. Or they have some sort of fear or beliefs, old beliefs, standing in their way that keep them from performing at their full potential. And maybe you feel like you fit in one or more of these categories. And if you do, it's actually pretty normal. So a couple of the things that you're going to learn in this training today, I'm going to teach you how to manage your mental and emotional state. I'm going to teach you some really key tools on how to interact with other people in a way that you feel completely confident and are able to control the conversation. And then I'm going to teach you a very special peak performance technique used by the doctor who trained the Russian and the East German Olympic victors to sweep the Olympics. So you are definitely going to want to stick around. All right. So how to manage your state. There are 4 basic components, and they are physiology, focus, self-talk and language patterns, and beliefs. And if you're into self-development, this might seem really, really simple, but it's really the fundamental ways to begin the shift that you want from where you are to where you want to be. So let's talk about physiology. Physiology, how you stand, how you breathe, how you move through the world. This is the absolute number one key to shifting your state in the shortest amount of time. So as you can see this statue, he's slouched over, his head in his hands. When you're standing in a pose that's, let's say, not empowering pose, you actually take on the emotions of that pose. And if you're just able to shift your body so that your shoulders are back, your head is up, you're smiling, you're breathing deep instead of shallow, that's going to instantly change your state no matter what your circumstance or what situation you're in. It can't not happen. So if you don't do anything else, change your physiology. Stand up tall, breathe deep, put a smile on your face, put your head up high, and you're going to feel so much better. So the second component is focus. What are you focused on? Are you focused on everything that's going wrong in your life, or are you focused on everything that's going great? Just by shifting your focus, you can change your emotions. So my advice to you is, when you catch yourself focusing on things that do not make you feel good, find some other things in your life that you do feel good about. Even if, and I've used this example before, but sometimes if I'm in a really bad state, the only thing I can think about that makes me happy might be my dog. And it doesn't matter what it is. Use something that makes you feel good in order to take your mind off whatever it is that makes you not feel good. It's pretty simple. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is self-talk and language patterns. Now, we all have this little voice inside of our head that is constantly commenting, judging ourselves, other people. And if you say, what voice? That's the voice I'm talking about. So it's really, really important to be mindful of how we talk to ourselves, because when we talk in a negative way, it actually affects us emotionally. So as you move through your day, just pay attention to that little voice in your head, what you're saying to yourself, or about other people, or about your circumstances, so that you can begin to start talking to yourself in a better way, which will cause you to have more confidence and will also cause you to just feel better. And so the last thing that I want to talk about in managing your state, and I really want to emphasize today, is beliefs. So here's my question. What do you believe? What do you believe about life, about God, about the universe, about the opposite sex, about money, about time? So we all have beliefs, and they're either empowering or they're limiting. And you most likely have limiting beliefs right now that are having some negative consequences in your life and are holding you back from success. So you probably want to learn how to turn these limiting beliefs into empowering beliefs, right? Because the empowering beliefs will help serve you and help propel you to the next level. So an example of a limiting belief would be, if I try, I might fail. And the way to turn that into an empowering belief would be, if I don't try, I will definitely fail. And there's no such thing as failure. There's only information to help me to apply to the next time I try. And if there's no such thing as failure, then where does the path take me? To success, right? So I just want you to ask yourself, if you had the belief that there was no such thing as failure, that you could be, do, or have anything that you want in life if you were determined enough, what do you think you would be capable of? I just want you to think about that. So I'm going to give you an exercise, and I'm going to explain it, and go ahead and write down the exercise now, and then you can complete it after we're done here. So basically, I want you to write down 3 limiting beliefs that may be or have been causing negative consequences in your life. And then what I want you to do is I want you to turn the limiting beliefs into empowering beliefs. So go ahead and make that note now for the exercise, and you can complete it after the webinar. Okay, so moving along, the next thing I want to talk to you about is how to build your self-confidence when dealing with others. Now, I have worked with many successful people, doctors, lawyers, architects, pretty much any job description you can think of. And I would expect them to know this, nothing against them for not, but I would expect that they would already know this technique. And surprisingly, they don't. And the reason why is because we are taught reflective listening, which basically means we listen to what someone's saying, we process it internally, and then we paraphrase it back to them so that they feel that we understand them. But as it turns out, this is completely the wrong technique. And what you want to do is you want to do what's called the echo technique. And this was taught to me by one of my teachers, David Snyder. And it is one of the most simple and easy ways to build rapport. So whoever you're having a conversation with, whether it is a client, your significant other, or just a complete stranger, what you'll want to do is you'll want to repeat their key words and phrases back to them in the exact order and sequence in which they gave them to you. And the reason why is because these keywords and phrases are their personal identity and value words that have neurological meaning to them. And when you can feed them their exact words and phrases back to them, they will automatically feel completely and totally understood by you. And I know this seems really, really simple, but it absolutely works. Let me change this slide. It absolutely works. So I want you to start applying the echo technique. Repeat key words and phrases back to people, and they will feel completely and totally understood by you. So let me just give you a quick example just to clarify. So Steve goes up to Sally and says, "Hey, Sally, how are you doing today?" Sally says, I'm okay. I'm a little tired. I had a problem falling asleep last night." And Steve says, "Oh, you stayed up too late last night? Why? What were you doing?" Sally's probably thinking, "No, jerk. That's not what I said. I said I had a problem falling asleep last night." Steve should have just said something like, "Oh, you had a problem falling asleep last night? Oh, I hate it when that happens." So just super, super simple, exact key words and phrases right back to them. It does not matter what they're saying, what the conversation is about. So try this technique, and if you have any questions, please feel free to submit them in the question box, and I am happy to get back to you. Okay, moving along. So creating a target self. I just loved this photo. It's not how good you are, it's how good you want to be. And that's really what this is about. So when we are born, we are like a blank hard drive. And between the ages of about 0 and 8, some say 6, some say 10, but about the ages of 0 and 8, we basically create our identity. And we do it based on what we observe in life, our filters, what are our experiences. Sometimes we create certain behaviors that serve us as a child and protect us as a child, but as an adult, they don't serve us anymore, but we keep reliving them because that's all we know. But here's what's important to know is that anything that can be created can be changed. So it's almost like you create the software and now it's time to reprogram the software. It's time to change it. And with my clients, a lot of times I do this on a subconscious level through hypnosis, but it can also be done on a conscious level. It just takes a little bit more work. So creating a target self. Now, this technique I got from a book called Red Gold. If you want to buy the entire book, it's pretty amazing. You can get it on Amazon. It's about $400. But this book basically teaches you the peak performance techniques used by the Russian and the East German Olympic victors. So it was a doctor that trained the Olympic athletes to sweep the Olympics. So there are basically 3 reasons why people don't change. A lot of people want to change, but they don't change. And here's why. Fear of the unknown, fear of losing their identity, and fear of suffering. And I actually have people come to me that really, really want to make change, and they don't follow through because of this. And so, for example, fear of losing your identity. Sometimes people create an identity and they don't want to change because they are scared that they might grow out of their relationship or their job. Or sometimes people create an identity but haven't been able to live up to it. And therefore, they feel like, well, who am I? If I'm not this person that I expected myself to be, then who am I? So we could go really, really deep on this, but I just want to basically give you the tools right now so that you can apply them to your life if you want to change. Actually, I should say, if you want to make positive change. And if you do want to apply these tools to your life and make positive change, then I really commend you, because sometimes it does take courage, and not everyone is willing to do the work that it takes to make the change. So if you're one of those people who really does want to make change, then I commend you. And that being said, you cannot grow if you don't try something new, right? So make sure you have a pen and paper handy to take notes, because I'm going to explain the technique how to create a target self. Okay, so first of all, that's my dog Pepito. First of all, you're going to want to make a list. What are all the psychological characteristics or traits that you would like to acquire or enhance? So make a list of all the psychological characteristics or traits that you would like to acquire or enhance. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make a second list. And the second list is, what traits of your present self would you like to get rid of? What traits of your present self would you like to get rid of? And here's what you do. So you take the second list of the traits you'd like to get rid of, and one by one, you go through the list and you make the traits that you want to get rid of really, really ugly. So if I continue with this behavior or this thought process, what is the worst case scenario? How is it going to be worse 10 years from now, 20 years from now? What is the absolute worst case scenario for each of those traits? And after you've gone through the entire list and made them really, really ugly so that you know you want to get rid of them, you're moving away from the pain, right? Just put it aside. Let it go. Don't focus on it anymore. Then what you're going to do is you're going to look at your list of psychological characteristics or traits that you'd like to acquire more of or enhance. And I want you to just asterisk the top, let's say 5. I don't know how many will be on your list. I think when I did this exercise, I had about 15 or 20 to start. And I would just like asterisk the first 5. And then what you want to do is you want to start practicing the trait. So, for example, if one of your traits is that you want to have more self-confidence, you're going to schedule on Wednesday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., I am going to act like the most confident person I can possibly be. I don't even care if I look like a jerk. I'm going to act like a totally confident person. And what's going to happen is as you begin to schedule and practice these traits, I know it sounds cheesy, but I'm telling you it works. Once you start to practice, you actually begin to take on these character traits, psychological traits. And if you practice them enough, they actually become a part of who you are. So maybe you want to be more confident. Maybe you want to be more social. Maybe you want to feel certain and make decisions really easily. And on that topic, by the way, the best thing to do if you're an indecisive person is just make a decision, because you will find out if you're right or wrong very quickly, and then you can make the other decision, as opposed to holding off because you're not sure what decision is the right decision. You'll never know until you make it. That was my rant on that. But so make sure you asterisk the top 5, let's say, character traits that you really want to take on, and then start practicing them. Schedule them into your daily routine and start practicing them. And I would love, love, love to hear your feedback. So I'm curious, are you excited to actually go out and apply these techniques so that you can begin to see the positive changes in your life? Raise your hands, say yes, because we all want positive changes in our lives. And I'm very, very excited to hear your success stories. So, at the beginning of this training, I promised you that if you stuck around to the very end, and if you're still here, thank you so much. If you stuck around to the very end, that I was going to offer you a free gift. And because you showed up, that means that you want more for your life. And for that reason, I am going to offer you a free 30-minute strategy session with me. And you can use this time however you want. If you want to get more information on how to take your life to the next level, you can do that. Or you can ask my advice, or you can just pick my brain or ask me about any of the techniques that I taught on today's training. So that is my gift to you. And all you have to do to schedule your session is just send me a quick email at info@lifecoach-newyorkcity.com. info@lifecoach-newyorkcity.com, and tell me that you stayed till the very end of this training. And if you want to schedule your strategy session right away, then just go ahead and tell me what days and times work best for you, and I will do my best to schedule you as soon as possible. So space is limited, so if you want your free strategy session, make sure you email me right away to secure your spot, okay? So that is it for today. I just really want to say thank you guys so much for coming, and I look forward to the next time we speak. Have a great day.